Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the precision, feel the speed, listen to the effects, music and video. It's time to mix live. Pioneer DJ presents.
Live from Atlanta, it's the Lucas Chat Podcast.
Your systems are offline. Number one for today's hits and all-time favorites.
Hello, Lucas Nation fans. Welcome back to another exciting Lucas Chat Podcast. This is the Lucas Chat Podcast. Hopefully, you guys are ready for another exciting podcast show here today. We got a good one for you. We are live again from Georgia Gwinnett College. Head over here. We're live from here. As you guys noticed from the last podcast we did, we talked about Tokyo Ghoul. That was the anime that we talked about last week. Now, this week, we're here to talk about something very special. But first, check out K.L.P Entertainment. Of course, check us out over at YouTube at K.L.P Entertainment. We are booming in that industry, so hopefully you guys check us out. We are booming in that industry. Of course, we're still in our 8th year, and we're booming with movies. Of course, The Gentleman's Club, directed by yours truly, Kennedy Lucas, will be out in September. So hopefully you guys are ready for that one, because I certainly am ready for that one. And please stay tuned as we're going to upload the Late Show with Kennedy Lucas very, very soon. I know we haven't did it consistently every week, as well as the update for Element Magazine is coming very soon. Just stay patient with us here at K.L.P Entertainment, and we'll get that right out for you guys for today. So be sure to follow all of our social media links in the description below, as well as my K.L.P Entertainment, the media label, my Instagram, K.L.P Worldwide, and so on and so forth in the link description. So please check us out. Of course, we've got the hit movie we're going to talk about today from Dwayne Johnson, Skyscraper. Of course, Skyscraper is a 2018 American action film written and directed by Rawson Marshall Thumber, starring Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, Neve Campbell, Chin Han, Roland Muller, Noah Taylor, Byron Mann, and Pablo Schneider, alongside with Hannah Quivalian, if I pronounce that last name. The story follows a former FBI agent who must rescue his family from the newly built skyscraper, the tallest in the world, after it's taken over by criminals and set on fire. This non-comedy of Thurber's career also marks the second collaboration with Johnson following Central Intelligence. So that really says a lot when you have a director cast the same guy from another movie to this movie. I must say that Skyscraper is different. It's very unoriginal. It's very original, I must say. It's not unoriginal. It's very original. Like, it's something that you would never think about. It's not like every movie is a copycat. I had a couple of friends the other day tell me that this movie was a bit of a cliche when he was on his last leg. Of course, he in the movie, a spoiler alert for all of you Lucas Nations fans out there. So if you haven't seen it, please go back, pause this podcast, and go back and see the movie. I saw it. It's actually pretty good. It's very emotional. In some acting scenes, it's very emotional. So, of course, Dwayne Johnson is the FBI agent. Of course, there was a big debacle at the beginning of the movie. He tried to capture a criminal, and of course, that criminal had a bomb and explode in the area, and he lost his leg. So, part of his leg from the knee down, he lost all of that. So he has a plastic leg, and he's toddling all over because he can't walk without that leg. Of course, is his plastic leg. So it's very, very cool. And it's something like this, and then he's married to Neve Campbell. Of course, at the beginning of the scene, Neve Campbell was a surgeon and helped repair him, and now they fall in love and they get married and have 2 kids by the name of Henry and Georgia. So very, very unique storyline. Filming began in September 2017 in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. The film was released in the United States by Universal Pictures on July 13, 2018 in 2D and Real D 3D, and it's grossed over $292 million worldwide against the production budget of around $125 million. So you guys know how I do it. You guys know how I roll with the numbers. It's all about the numbers here in movie history. I always say, was this a good investment in making this money? I had talked about movies before where where their budget was more than their actual box office hit. So they really made a good commission, over $100 million with this movie. So this movie was a huge success in the Universal world. Excuse me. So the film received mixed reviews and from critics who praised Johnson's performance and the film's suspenseful scenes, but criticized the script as cliched and too similar to The Towering Inferno and Die Hard. Yes and no on that. I thought it was very different. Yeah, I thought it was. I found it to be a little bit different. I really, I like Die Hard. I must say, Die Hard is pretty good. I do say that it is a cliche because Die Hard starred in, I think it was Bruce Willis, who was in Die Hard, and he's like the big tough guy. And of course, Dwayne Johnson, all his characters, he's either an army guy or a doctor or an agent or a cop in pretty much all his movies, or even the villain. So that's the only part I could say is cliched is, you cast someone who's big muscled and who can fight, Bruce Willis, and The Rock, Vin Diesel type. So, I mean, that's where it's kind of the cliche because you hired someone, a big guy. So, if going standing at 3,500 feet and has 225 stories high, this was set in Hong Kong. Now, I want to see that does Hong Kong have buildings this big, or was it just the story writing and storytelling? Because there are some huge skyscrapers out there, even in Dubai. So it's very, very exciting to see that if they grow these buildings here, you won't really see that big of a building here in Atlanta, but you'll probably see it in Hong Kong. But you'll definitely see it in Dubai. Dubai has some really good skyscrapers out there in Dubai, Hong Kong, and Russia. Moscow, Russia, so it's really beautiful. Cinematography word goes out to Robert Eswelt. He is the cinematographer for the film. It's all about the cinematography for me with movies to see, did you hire a good cameraman? So you did. He did hire a good cameraman. The shots were pretty good. The effects was pretty cool. They really brought out the stuff with these effects, so I'm very happy to see that they did something like this, and it was very, very interesting. They pulled it off in this movie. Of course, Dwayne Johnson, his character is Will Sawyer, and again, the production development of May 2016. It was announced that Legendary Entertainment had won the bidding war for the Chinese set action adventure Skyscraper, in which Dwayne Johnson was set to play the lead. Of course, Thurber was the scriptwriter, film director, and producer of this film. It's very, very original. It's very, I have to say this is very original. When Skyscraper was released in the United States, as well as several international territories in 3D, that's also the nailing point for that because 3D is, everyone watches movies in 3Ds. Sadly, my family doesn't really see much of 3D movies as much, but this would have been really, really cool to see in 3D, to see the thriller of it. I love 3D movies. I really do like how 3D movies have come apart. I did see this one movie that wasn't good in 3D because it wasn't originally filmed in 3D, so it kind of hurt your eyes. With that movie I saw, I think it was Fantastic Beasts when I saw. They didn't really have that good 3D motion in there. It made people's eyes kind of hurt. But the film debuted in China. The movie made $47.7 million in China, which is really, really good for foreign going internationally with this film. Again, this is just really good film to see. I would recommend you see it because it was something to really get into. It was just it was emotional, I must say. The actors played the role really, really well. It was really good to see The Rock and Neve Campbell from Scream kissing. That was just really good to see. Of course, we have some reviews here from the Rolling Stones. David Fear said, but stripped of his cocked eyebrow charm, his performance simply comes off as humorless in a movie that keeps the inherently more ridiculous. And that was David Fair from the Rolling Stones. Of course, we've got Common Sense Media. Jeffrey Anderson says, this action movie was about 4 gripping sequences of heart-pounding suspense, but they're surrounded by too much ridiculous, ineffective stuff. Stressfully scenes of kids and Pearl tip in the balance. Of course, Mahona Dargis from the New York Times says Skyscraper, a proudly ridiculous thriller, is mostly about its other towering figure, Dwayne Johnson, who colossal is complement by the duplicated expression rare in a blockbuster. And I actually do agree with you on that one. I actually really do agree with you on that one, and that was the reviews from the big companies out there. Of course, the next movie I need to see is San Andreas. I did see Fast 8. Fast 8 was really good. Fast 7 was even better. Rampage from The Rock was okay. It was okay. That's all I can say. G.I. Joe was okay. Hercules was really good. Jumanji, I didn't see it yet. Baywatch was actually pretty funny. Central Intelligence was pretty funny. So it's just really, really good to see all these big movies out there playing by The Rock, and he's playing a big guy in his ever so charismatic roles in the movie. So if you guys haven't seen Skyscraper yet, please go out there and see Skyscraper. It's not really a bad movie. People say it was cliched. Some people say it might be been too much, but it was very, very interesting to see how The Rock goes into that element for family. It's just really, really nice. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast over Skyscraper. Please go out and see the movie, and please go out and check out K.L.P Entertainment all over on SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and so on and so forth. Be sure to follow us on K.L.P Worldwide, because we're booming in that industry. Over 200 followers on K.L.P Worldwide. So this has been the Lucas Chat Podcast with your host, Kennedy Lucas. I'm Kennedy Lucas, logging out.
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the precision, feel the spirit, listen to the effects, music and video. It's time to mix live. Pioneer DJ presents.
Live from Atlanta, it's the Lucas Chat Podcast.